Good morning. Developing story. Clippers superstar Kawhi Leonard signed a $28 million endorsement deal with an environmental startup funded by Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. Now, according to an investigation by Pablo Torre Finds Out, former employees are now raising concerns that Ballmer's $50 million personal investment in the company, currently under federal investigation for fraud, went on a round trip to power Leonard's no-show job and skirt NBA rules. Pablo got an anonymous former Aspiration employee on the show. Take a listen.
Did you ever see proof of Kawhi Leonard marketing or endorsing Aspiration in any way?
Never, not once. The single largest payment to an individual for marketing that Aspiration ever made has completely evaded all press. It's honestly incredible. Nothing. He didn't have to do anything.
In other words, Kawhi Leonard got from Aspiration a $28 million no-show job.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm honestly so jealous.
In a statement sent to Torre's show on Tuesday on behalf of the team and its owner, the Clippers said neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false. Stephen A., your reaction to the story and Pablo's investigation?
Let me say this. First of all, I'm going to always give Steve Ballmer the benefit of the doubt. I think that he's a treasure for the NBA, and obviously this is worthy of an investigation, it appears. The Clippers have categorically denied any wrongdoing. I'm certainly going to give this man the benefit of the doubt because he's done a lot for the league, and I think he's a good man, and until we find otherwise, he deserves the benefit of the doubt. Not that it doesn't deserve to be investigated, but he deserves the benefit of the doubt. Having said that, let me tell you what really, really stands out with me and why I said, believe it or not, some of this is believable. Because there's a sentence in here where it says, the deal was with Kawhi Leonard's company, KL2 Aspire, LLC, and included clauses allowing Leonard to do nothing, yet still collect payment. That's the Kawhi Leonard I know. Doing nothing and getting paid for it. Now, this is a two-time champ. I want to be very, very clear about what I'm saying. When this man is on the court, he is a bona fide superstar player. This brother is a two-time champion, two-time NBA Finals MVP, okay? He can ball, doesn't shrink beneath the spotlight or the pressure. This is in no way questioning his greatness as a basketball player. But I have stated this on many occasions. He is the worst superstar I have ever seen in sports. Worse and superstar being the operative words. No denying he's a superstar. But I have never seen a superstar do less to market and promote his team or promote the brand. It was so bad, doggy, that I almost had a heart. I'm telling you right now, I had to go to the doctor and get checked up because I had palpitations. When I saw this man on a podium at a press conference post-game actually talking, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because he says nothing. This is a man that did New Balance commercials, and the kids spoke, Molly. The kids. He didn't say a word. I've seen them go up to him and need him to sign autographs and fraternize with the public when he was sitting behind on the bench collecting about $40+ million, and he wouldn't do it. So he has spent years doing absolutely, positively nothing. That's why his uncle, Dennis Robinson, is so popular. It's a name that all of us know. Why? Because that man never fails to go and ask for the money now. He wants to ask for the money. They want a masseuse. They want a helicopter. They want, you don't talk about me in private jet. Don't even get me started, this brother. I mean, it is endless. What he has made sure he gets time and time and time again.
NBA we go, where the league is investigating claims that the Clippers circumvented the salary cap by arranging a no-show job for Kawhi Leonard. Podcaster and former ESPN contributor Pablo Torre reported that the LA owner, Steve Ballmer, invested $50 million in a now defunct company, and Leonard got a $28 million endorsement deal, but no work. Senior NBA insider Shams Charania is with us now. So what more can you tell us about the NBA's investigation into the situation?
Christine, the NBA told me that their investigation is underway, and it will most certainly include interviews with key subjects as part of both the Clippers side, Kawhi Leonard himself, this company, and the league's investigation at the heart of it is going to be searching for concrete proof, a potential paper trail to show whether there was cap circumvention done. And just for context here, the previous case of cap circumvention in the NBA was about 25 years ago. It involved the Minnesota Timberwolves and Joe Smith in a paper trail of an illegitimate free agent contract. And the NBA sanctioned the Timberwolves 5 first-round draft picks. You see right there, owner Glenn Taylor was suspended. General manager Kevin McHale was suspended. $3.5 million fine as well. And those are the types of penalties. It's severe if they are found guilty here in this situation. I will say, and what we saw in the statement last night with the Clippers, Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard have both privately and publicly contended that these were isolated situations, that there was no wrongdoing done here, that Steve Ballmer invested in a company that it ultimately tanked and went bankrupt, and Kawhi Leonard received an endorsement deal from that company. The NBA's investigation, though, is going to be the one to see whether there was business done here, normal, standard, or whether there was something more going on here.
What's going on, everybody? Shmuel Answer here, back in the video. We're back in the video on the channel. In today's video, we're doing another, random talk video. In today's video channel, whatever, what I'm saying. In today's video, of course, it's about the whole entire Kawhi Leonard and the owner's Ballmer, the guy named Steve Ballmer's, situation, what I'm saying. That happened like 2 days ago as I'm recording this. Like, Jesus, like over the past couple of days, I've been rolling around these random talk videos just to randomly talk about stuff that I see that's going on online that I'm interested to talk about. And it's been going crazy after crazy after crazy after crazy. Like, crazy shit happened in this world, right? And this is one of them. And I had no idea about this whole entire situation until I saw a YouTuber make this video that I watch for quite some time. And I figured, why not do my own little research about this whole entire topic and tried my best to go into details about this whole entire thing, because this is a very serious situation. Now, before I get into the video, this is allegedly shit. This is alleged video, whatever. So it's not been confirmed that this actually happened. But the details and everything that's been going on about this whole entire shit could get really serious. And I don't think that many people are not talking about this enough, how serious this can get. And I'm going to try to explain everything from the beginning all the way to where we are right now, because as I'm recording this, the NBA is still going to this, they investigate this shit. Like, this is very, very serious. And if you have the NBA investigate this shit, it's really like dead ass serious. Like, this is no joking matter. And I'm not saying Clippers are going to get in trouble about this, because they could or could not. NBA could find something and they could get in trouble. They could not, you know what I'm saying? And then they walk free, you know what I'm saying, if they don't find anything. But I'm just going to say for right now, let's allege this whole entire situation. Take this video with a grain of salt. If you're a Clipper fan, you can X out this video, dislike it, whatever. I don't care if you leave a hateful comment. I understand it, because you guys don't want to be in this situation, you know what I'm saying? Because you're already dealing with the fact you couldn't beat the freaking Nuggets in the playoffs, which they're at the weakest of their state. But let me not get to the Clipper fans. They're already dealing with too many bullshit. Couldn't win a damn ring. But hey, let me not. I'm doing too much. But anyways, besides that though, so this whole entire situation, it was a couple of days ago. A guy who made content, I think he goes by the name of Pablo Torres. He made a live stream talking about this whole entire thing, and it's blowing up all over the internet. ESPN talking about this shit like it's that dead serious, and the NBA is already investigating this stuff. And obviously this is really, really serious. So this guy named Pablo Torres, he had a live stream. He talked about this whole entire situation for an hour plus straight, and he talked about how the whole entire the owner Steve Ballmer and Kawhi Leonard are involved in some fraudulent, Aspire, the company that there's a fraudulent company that the Clippers at one point, sponsored. They obviously they're involved in like some scandals. Basically, Steve Ballmer, made this company, this Aspire company. That's what they was made by. Basically to promote, plants, say the plant type shit, you know what I'm saying? And that's what Steve Ballmer, obviously, I say Steve Ballmer, but Steve Ballmer, obviously, he made this company, and allegedly, he made this company for Kawhi to pay him more, like over $28 million over the salary cap that he's been earning in the NBA. If you guys know the salary cap, those are the cap space that owners use to cap out the amount of money that the players can need, so that way the other lower bad teams can have a chance to make the playoffs or make an upper year, whatever, without going over the cap space, whatever. There's a reason why cap space exists, so that way that teams don't get too overpowerful and start buying other teams, you know what I'm saying, get all these star players, whatever, that way that other teams can have a fair chance on making the playoffs, you know what I'm saying, because making playoffs ain't easy, so that's why cap space are there. While that's all happening, Steve Ballmer allegedly he made a company called Aspire, this fraudulent company that recently got bankrupt, and they had a co-owner named what's his name? I forgot his name, but we'll get to it. Right? He pled guilty of fraudulent because he was scamming people over millions of dollars. And he's facing like over 20 plus years in prison. So that's that. While that's happening, Steve Ballmer, which is allegedly he's been, investing his own money, his own $1 billion, his own money into this company, right? And basically, he used this to basically, not only to, promote, the Clippers and to promote the company of Aspire, the fraudulent company, but also to try to let Kawhi Leonard more money into his pocket so that a way he could get more money to stay on the Clippers. Now, these are all allegedly. I don't know the details much. I'm trying my best to understand the details. My recommendation for you is to go to the Pablo Torres, live stream, then this video to understand the whole full context of everything from his perspective. But not many people don't have an hour to understand the whole thing. But I'll still link to his channel and everything down below in the description if you want to go support him and watch the whole thing, because I'm trying to explain this as much as I can under an hour. I hope this video don't be long enough, but more likely it is because it is a random talk video. But to basically, like I said, basically from what I'm seeing here, basically Steve Ballmer made this Aspire company so that way they could give Kawhi Leonard like more money into this company, and basically, just to go over the cap space of the whole entire thing. And that's, I don't know about y'all, but that's illegal. You can't have owners lending out money to the ball players, to basketball players, or to these players in general, just so you can go over the cap space or whatever and all type of stuff. And that's what's been alleged by this whole entire incident. You know what I'm saying? And it's getting crazy out here. It's getting ridiculous. And if this is true, this is going to kill the Clippers completely. And I'm not gonna lie to you. And I don't know if Adam Silver is gonna investigate this to find anything to confirm about this, because it ain't easy. Because there's got to be a lot of proof going into it. But I'm telling you this right now, with the if this is true, they're going to kill the freaking Clippers completely. Now, due to the new rules of the CBA, they're not like repeated offenders with the whole entire scandal stuff. So they're more likely gonna get a slap on the wrist, and they're gonna probably lose some fines and call it a day. But we don't know for sure if this is true or not. That's why I'm saying allegedly. So I gotta take it with a grain of salt for all the Clipper fans who are watching this. So bear with me and all this type of stuff. So basically, let me start from the beginning. So basically, around I would say around 2021 or 2020. This company called Aspire was had an owner. I forgot his name is. Basically, partnered up with with Steve Ballmer to make this company called Aspire, basically like a plant growth, companies or whatever to plant, growth of plants, whatever, all type of stuff. It's a fraudulent company, you already know. It's already getting bankrupt or whatever. But basically, he decided to team up with this Aspire company, along with partnering up with them to not only help them out with the whole stadium stuff like that, because that's why how they get the new stadium, but also, basically, get, as much, people into, the Clippers dome and the new stadium, but also, get, a lot, a lot, back for whatever for the whole entire thing. Basically, just to help around with the whole plant stuff, but also help him around, Steve Ball would make more money, whatever, and all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But while that whole thing is happening, basically, Steve Ballmer, basically, this is allegedly, I can't confirm this, but basically, while this whole thing happening, as years goes by, obviously they signed Kawhi Leonard to a 3-year, $100-something million, whatever, and along with that, a few months later, they signed him to this 4-year, $28 million to be like a endorsement deal to the Aspire, the fraudulent company that got bankrupt and all type of stuff and shut down. Unfortunately, it was shut down. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, basically, that was the whole thing, right? You know what I'm saying? And then basically, after everything that has been going on, basically, this is alleged based off of the Pablo Torres dude. He basically said that basically the owner has something part of this because basically he built this, he made this company called Aspire along with the co-owner, right? So they partner up with each other, right? And they do all this little thing where they want to do plants or whatever, right? But also they include Kawhi in it with his $28 million, whatever, and all that type of stuff, right? Meanwhile, while all that's happening, they basically told him you don't have to do anything with that $28 million. You can basically do nothing. While the ambassadors who actually worked at the Aspire, because there was actually former employees that worked at Aspire, they wouldn't give amount of fraction towards what Kawhi was getting, because he was getting $28 million basically by doing nothing, while the ambassadors are actually trying to plant, grow stuff, whatever you want to do, working, all that type of stuff. So Kawhi was basically getting paid $28 million basically to do nothing but just be an ambassadors. They did, according to the papers, they said there were some sort of certain requirements he had to do, like do some selfies, some pictures, leave a like, retweet, whatever, make a video and all that, sign autographs. He did zero of that shit. So they basically paid this guy $28 million all for nothing. Now, make that $21 million because currently, as I'm recording this guy here named Joe Sandberg, who was the founder of Aspire, basically he was the owner and the founder of Aspire and all type of stuff. Yeah, he pled guilty of fraudulent and all type of stuff because obviously with the whole entire $248 million for like high profile investors and all type of stuff. Yeah, he was basically doing a full fraudulent scam and shit in the whole entire Aspire company or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole scam and basically what I'm saying, because he wanted more money, whatever. And now he's spending some jail time, maybe about like at least 20 plus years or whatever. I don't know, I can't confirm about it, but I do know is that Joe Sandberg was the founder of the Aspire, has also had a close relationship with Steve Ballmer, and let's just say that obviously with him, doing all the scanning stuff, and then him connected with Steve Ballmer, it says a lot about what was going on, and that's why the whole he's spending some jail time because he pled guilty with fraudulent. And this whole point of this whole entire thing is like, did Kawhi Leonard and Steve Ballmer did some fraudulent stuff that broke the rule in the NBA by having Steve Ballmer, giving money to Kawhi Leonard in the most sneakiest way as possible, say, well, undercover or whatever. That's the whole point of this whole fraudulent thing. Basically, Joe Sandberg, he's the founder on that, got a close relationship with Steve Ballmer and all that. And yeah, he's facing some jail time. So that good riddance for him. And, obviously, You know what I'm saying? And then that, and then he, the whole Aspire, company, Aspiration, we're going to call it, you know what I'm saying, has officially been bankrupted in 2025, I believe so, due to his arrest, because he got pled guilty of the whole entire fraudulent thing on the Aspiration company. And let's just say he got arrested, like I said, and then they called for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy. Now, according to this Pablo Torres dude, there was a list of people like investors that invested to the Aspiration company that Joe Sandberg that he owes in the bankruptcy, because when you bankrupt you don't have money and whatever, and basically you still owe these people or these investor, these business, this company, these amount of money. Well, there was a one particular person that he owes that involves one of his 4 years and the $28 million endorsement he had to go owe for. And one of those, money that he owed, there was a thing, there was a investor that he owes. It says the KL2 LLC or something like that. Basically, it's Kawhi Leonard who wears jersey number 2, because he's the only player that I see right now in the NBA that wears jersey number 2. Who else is KL2? It's Kawhi Leonard. So obviously he's part of that paper thing, which got many people thinking he's probably involved with the whole entire fraudulent thing of getting paid by Steve Ballmer and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then to add insult into injuries too as well, he basically got paid by doing absolutely nothing. He didn't have Aspiration as his little sponsor thing. He didn't retweet. He didn't do no likes. He didn't share. He didn't do none of those things. He literally just basically did nothing and got his money and just built out. He just waiting for his another 7 million and he'll call it a day. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how it is. But how is this leaking towards Ballmer with this dude? Like I said, they build closer relationship. Ballmer sponsor Aspiration, the company who's a fraudulent company, like I said, that got bankrupted, and this dude, who's Joe Sandberg, is now basically spending some jail time. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it. And on top of all this too, as well, Steve Ballmer, he basically lent some of the money to Aspiration, to basically do whatever to like help out with endorsements, whatever. But however, some of that money, obviously, that didn't help the company to basically stay afloat. They got bankrupted in 2025, and then the dude got arrested. But some of that money potentially, allegedly, could went to Kawhi Leonard and his 28 million, mainly because if you look at the one of the documents what the Pablo Du said, he said that in one of his agreements, you had to do all the sponsor stuff and all this little 50 autograph whatever and all that, which Kawhi didn't do. But the only way he'll ever break this agreement if he leaves the motherfucking Clippers. I'm telling you, you go watch the fucking goddamn, the whole entire thing. You'll know what I'm talking about. He basically in that contract or in that statement, whatever. Basically, if it says that okay, yeah, you can do all this, whatever, and do all this little thing. That's a requirement for Kawhi Leonard. He did none of those things. He did absolutely nothing. He didn't even associate nor mention it to Aspiration, even though he signed an endorsement deal with them. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of this too as well, like I said, in one of the contract it says that he will not get this amount of money, or if he will, the only way he'll ever terminate the contract is if he actually leave the Clippers, which he didn't do. He didn't leave the Clippers. He probably will never leave the Clippers because he just signed a 3-year extension. So how the fuck he gonna leave Clippers? So he gonna get this $28 million money, but that's some of that money is more likely to own this money, and they probably did that in a way to basically keep Kawhi Leonard and go over the cap space, so that a way that they don't have to worry about paying Kawhi as much for the remainder of his contract. And this is all just allegedly stuff. Like this could be lies, could be true. I'm speaking all over the place. I do apologize. Like I said, I just found out about this shit as soon as I was about to go to sleep, whatever. So I could be wrong here. Like I said, basically to sum this whole thing up, Steve Ballmer made a associate with a company called Aspiration by a dude named Joe, right? He made that company basically, you know what I'm saying, to basically do plant stuff, which Kawhi Leonard's not doing fucking plays. Let's be real, right? He did nothing with the company. He didn't associate nor read a tweet, like, or whatever. He ain't do no 50 autograph, whatever. In the contract, it said that the only way he'll terminate if he leaves the Clippers, which, okay, that's weird for endorsement deal, whatever. And in between those lines, allegedly, Steve Ballmer probably gave some of that money. Allegedly, Steve Ballmer probably gave that money to the Aspiration group to not only do the whole plant shit, but also pay Kawhi Leonard so that way they could go over the cap space. And that is illegal. That is something that never that hadn't happened in a long time. If you guys didn't know, a couple of years ago, I'll say about 20 plus years ago, a guy named Joe Smith took less money. He was like the first overall draft pick. He was a first overall draft pick by the Golden State Warriors. He was to me he was a decent player for some of his duration of his career. Obviously, it didn't work out in Golden State. He went to Philadelphia. That didn't work out. He had a horrible year on that one. He signed with the Timberwolves instead of taking other deals with other teams for lesser money. That's like 1 year, something like 1 year and like three something like $5 million something dollars, all type of stuff. The team of the Minnesota Timberwolves decided to basically give him that deal. Basically, like, hey, listen, if you take lesser deals, basically, Joe Smith, we will give you the bird rights, which means in the third year we'll give you the more money illegally. The reason why they did this is the other way that they could get more players on the team, and they could go over the cap space or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what they did to get Joe Smith. Because keep this in mind, Joe Smith at that time, he was a decent player. He was all right, you know what I'm saying? He was like a player that you could have on your team that you truly believe if he stays healthy, you know what I'm saying? David Stern found about this shit, right? And punished the fuck out of Minnesota Timberwolves. They lost 5 draft picks, which that was a huge part. They got fined. The GM of the time at the time was Kevin McHale. He got suspended indefinitely, and the owner did too as well. So if this is true, it might look like this. It might turn out to be the same situation. I don't know if I could compare this to this whole Minnesota Timberwolves situation that happened 20 plus years ago. But it's kind of seemed like it's more likely going to be like that way if this whole thing is true. And based on what I'm seeing, it looked like they did some kind of scandal. They realized that, hey, listen, we need to give Kawhi Leonard this money. Well, actually, Steve Ballmer was like, listen, I'm one of the richest man in the world. I can give Kawhi Leonard this amount of money. Why not? So that way that, I can keep on the team anymore, go over the cap space, and basically while that's happening, I can just easily go and call it a day. That's what basically I got from here. Like I said, I could be all over the place. I could be wrong here. This is all allegedly. I'm just talking about this, you know what I'm saying, in a way to make y'all understand about this whole situation because, like I said, I just found out about this shit. And I'm just kind of like shocked about this. I don't want to believe it at first, but at the same time, there has been a lot of owners, there's been a lot of GMs, a lot of people in the NBA that has been doing shit like this over the years. Yet the difference is that they gone undercover, and they did not get caught like Minnesota Timberwolves. This, on the other hand, is way bigger because Joe Smith, he was all right player, but like he wasn't like he only like had like 10 plus years in his career, and then he called it whatever. You know what I'm saying? 10 plus years career, and that's it. He was a decent player. You know what I'm saying? He was a role player at best, you know what I'm saying? Kawhi is one of the best defensive player in NBA history. And if this happens to him the same way it happened to Minnesota Timberwolves dude, who got severely punished and the whole organization did, like I said, they lost 5 first-round picks. They lost 5 first-round picks. They lost some money. And then they lost a GM and an owner because they both got suspended. And I believe, which not many content creators will talk about this, but Joe had his whole entire contract voided, meaning that his whole contract was completely off the table. So that 1 year that he had with the Minnesota Timberwolves, that's off the table. You're done. You're out. You're out of the Minnesota Timberwolves. You can't come back to that team. You can't come back to that team no more. So, and Joe Smith's career was over after that. He was literally cooked for. I'll probably link the whole description of the whole entire Joe Smith interview and where he talked about this whole situation. Because this kind of seemed like similar to this shit too as well. And it's not me trying to be picky off of the Los Angeles Clippers because I love the Clippers. I have nothing against the Clippers team. It's just that when you're doing shit like this and it's raising eyebrows, a lot of people are going to come at you on this one. So, yeah, and here's the thing here. This is no surprising to me, honestly, because this happened in the past before, like a long time ago, and it's happening right now with a lot of owners, with all of this CBA shit, with a lot of people getting more and more and more money than they ever have been like before. Like I'm telling you, man, like with the amount of money that these players are getting nowadays compared to back then, it's getting crazier and crazier. And these owners, they're starting to find ways to hide under the whole entire, like scandal shit. Like they fucking got them the invisible girl from the fucking got their Fantastic Four. Like, you can't see me, whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's what these owners are doing. You know what I'm saying? And I have a feeling that this is kind of like a similar situation. And here's the thing here. It's just that people and these owners, they don't get caught like doing this type of shit. You know, they're probably doing it. But what the Clippers are doing, they're doing some scandalous shit, man. And it's not looking good. You know what I'm saying? So, but also, I want to talk about this too as well. I didn't talk about this. But this is going way back in 2019 when Kawhi Leonard won the championship with Toronto Raptors. The Raptors was trying to keep Kawhi Leonard, right? But his uncle, who was managing him at the time, I don't know if he still do, was giving the Raptors like an offer on the table that's so crazy that makes me want to just like rock bottom his ass. So Stone Cold stunning him. He basically did the whole entire like, hey, listen, if you want to keep Kawhi, give me part ownership, give me a private jet plane shit, give me a house, what, and then a fucking goddamn give me whatever endorsement that Kawhi had. I need to get that. Like he was offering too much for the Raptors to do so. And the Raptors felt some type of way when Kawhi went all the way to go sign with Los Angeles. And they felt like, you know, they gave him what they wanted. They gave him an offer, and he declined it to go to Los Angeles Clippers. That's why they investigate that back in 2019, and they didn't found nothing when the whole thing that happened. You know what I'm saying? The whole scandal and stuff like that, the whole bribe thing, because bribing players to get this whatever is also illegal in the NBA. So you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. And GD Buss had this situation too as well, where they tried to offer Kawhi Leonard this amount of contract, but the uncle did the same thing to GD Buss and the Lakers. So y'all, Lakers fans, y'all could have actually got Kawhi if the uncle didn't say some shit. Toronto Raptors, y'all could have probably kept Kawhi if the uncle didn't say some shit. But when he goes to the Clippers, I guess the uncle probably got his house and his jet, and he probably got his goddamn some of the Dorsey's money that his nephew making, which is Kawhi, of course, and he probably got a goddamn some ownership, whatever. I don't fucking know. It's all over the place. Like this whole entire scandalous shit is dating back in 2019 when he was with the Raptors all the way to now. And it's still going on investigation as I'm recording this. So I will try my best to try to see how this will turn out, whether the NBA found something or not. And if they did, I'll cover it. If they don't, then I'll cover it still. Why not? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. This whole entire situation is crazy. I'll link the whole entire, the whole entire video down below in the description because Pablo Torres made a huge fucking statement that was so huge. ESPN, the NBA, ESPN talked about this, and the NBA talked about this. It's all over social media. I'll link the YouTube channel and also the video down below in the description. You want to go support it. And other YouTubers that I will, do album mentions to, that have talked about the same situation in the most simplest way as possible. Because let's be real, none of you guys are gonna watch the a whole fucking hour long of Torres dude, the Pablo Torres dude, basically talking about this whole entire situation. So yeah, that's pretty much it on that one. And what I take upon this situation, my thoughts and opinions on the situation, honestly, it's no surprise to me because obviously there's a lot of owners that does shit like this, but they don't get caught doing like this shit as well. So if I'm Adam Silver, I'm doing the whole entire sweep on the whole entire 32 fucking teams, whatever how many teams the NBA has, to see if owners ain't doing this scandalous shit like this, because there could be owners that be doing this shit too as well. and it's not only fucking affecting the NBA, but still fucking killing the NBA. So I'm pretty sure Steve Ballmer is not the only one. And so we'll wait and see, on that one. Also, Kawhi Leonard, the fact that he get paid $28 million by doing absolutely nothing, he's got to be one of the most luckiest motherfuckers of all time. I would love to get paid $28 million just to do nothing. That'd be great. I'll be set for life. But the fact that Kawhi get to sit there and do nothing, be the fun guy, the shit, you know what I'm saying, and just get paid $20 million by doing nothing. Meanwhile, the ambassadors of the Aspiration people, they don't get paid a fraction of that shit. If you go actually watch the employee talk about how much Kawhi be getting compared to them, it's not even that amount that Kawhi's getting. $28 million just to don't do nothing. Don't add no tweets, no likes, no nothing, no sponsorships, no speaking, no words, because Kawhi Leonard's a quiet dude. And then on top of all this, though, he don't shout them out like all this. He just be there and don't do nothing. Like everyone's working, trying to do some plant shit. That is so scandal. So it's crazy, man. And I'm not gonna lie to you. If they get caught, if this whole thing is true, which allegedly we don't know the information yet, we're gonna wait and find out. But if this is true, Clippers fans, all I gotta say is this: I pray for y'all. That's all. I just hope that this isn't true. I hope that maybe just a company that Ballmer did, Steve Ballmer did, and they got scanned out of this whole shit, and Inspiration just fucked up and failed, and they, all this other type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And he probably made a bad mistake of, teaming up with them, whatever. Oh, I hope this is not true, but if this is true, Clippers in a lot of trouble, and I'm telling you right now, if I'm Al Silver, if I find out about this shit, you better give them the exact same punishment that like you NBA people did with Joe Smith. Because ever since Joe Smith got that punishment, he was not the same. And I'm not asking for Kawhi Leonard to get the exact same punishment as Joe Smith, but I'm just saying, though, there got to be repercussions if it's true. But if it's had to do something like to, take away Kawhi Leonard's contract and all type of stuff, like they did with Joe Smith back in like 20 plus years ago, that's crazy. And keep this in mind too as well. When they took the 5 first round pick, like when they took Timberwolves 5 first round picks and eventually got 2 of them back, the team was not the same no more, and they ruined Kevin Garnett's prime. So if they take some of the first round picks that the Clippers need to to maybe start rebuilding and getting some future players, that's gonna hurt that team in the long run, and it's probably not gonna look too good. And on top of all that, losing Kawhi in his contract, that would kill the Clippers completely. Because if Kawhi ain't there, that team ain't competing for shit. Maybe be a playoff team at best, but conference finals, hell fucking no. But we'll wait and see. Hopefully this is just a big ruse, but obviously with this whole entire scandal shit that many people are talking about, doesn't look like a ruse to me, but we'll wait and see. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching. Leave a like, subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about this whole entire Kawhi and Ballmer situation or scandal situation that happened. Do y'all think this is all true? Do y'all think this is not true? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section down below how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? I want to know. And honestly, it's fucked up, but they ain't the only ones. Baldwin's not the only owner that's doing this, and he won't be the last one. So keep that in mind. So that's pretty much it. Thank y'all for watching, and as always, take care. I'm out. Peace.